Hello and welcome to Of the People. I am Robert Chernin with my lovely co-host,
Ericka Redic.
And we are back for yet another day of news, politics, and our large dose of irreverence. Ericka, you know what? There's nothing going on in the news today. Absolutely nothing.
I don't believe you, Robert.
Do you believe me?
I don't believe you one bit. Because I've been watching the news and I feel like
there's a few things.
Oh my goodness.
So folks, stay with us. Obviously, we're going to start with what's outrageous, and Lord knows there's a lot of it. But next segment, we're going back to big education because my girlfriend is once again in the news. And, you know, this woke stuff is like the gift that keeps on giving if you're in media or entertainment, right?
Yes.
But the third segment, Ericka, which is, I know, one of your hot buttons, we're going to talk about illegal immigration, but an aspect that people don't really focus on, which is child trafficking, which is, if illegal immigration is horrible, child trafficking is an infamia. It is just unforgivable and unthinkable. But stay tuned with us. But Ericka, we got to go back to the outrage. I grew up outside New York City.
Okay.
Right. And have you ever had New York City pizza?
Oh my God. Yeah. I remember this pizza joint opened up in Burlington called Big Daddy's Pizza. And it was the best pizza I had ever eaten in my life. And it actually closed down. I literally cried when it closed. Thank you, Burlington, for sucking. That's a side note.
Yeah, but wait a minute. That's not New York pizza.
No,
you cannot make New York pizza anywhere except New York.
Even though he was a New Yorker, bringing the New York style and the New York.
You can make New York style. The water's different. The dough is different. Frankly, the freaking attitude they make it with is different. Okay. You know, ain't 1, 2, 3, not for none. Hey, you want another one or what?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But wait a minute. So New York City, in their infinite wisdom, right? First, they are giving out free drugs. And folks, let's be candid. Those drug machines are paraphernalia machines.
Yes.
But they are giving out Narcan, which is a drug.
Yes.
So, you know, and, you know, it's just New York City and their infinite stupidity. But now New York, under the real threat to world peace of climate change, is requiring all wood fire and coal burning pizza parlors to reduce their emissions by 75% in New York City.
What?
Because wait. So folks, go to New York, buy all the pizzas you usually get and freeze them because because it's all about the temperature.
What are we going to make them in? Electric stoves?
No. Wait. So the Department of Environmental Protection said all New Yorkers deserve to breathe healthy air, and the wood and coal-fired stoves are among the largest contributors of harmful pollutants in the neighborhoods with poor air quality.
Yeah, but it also
could be the cars. Do you think it could be the factories? Do you think it could be Con Ed? Do you think? I mean,
oh my God,
you're going after pizza parlors?
That is, of all of the dumb stuff that they say in New York City, you want me to believe that the most delicious pizza on earth is the contributing factor?
It is. So like, look, Lombardi's, Grimaldi's, I mean, places that I used to go to all the time, and it's going to cost them like $20,000 or $30,000 to install this apparatus, and then they got to service it, and it's going to mess with the temperature and mess with the product. But, you know, in the name of climate change, you should do this because New York says it's better for the air you breathe. I have, by the way, all those people in New York who are worried about the air they breathe, I have a better solution for them.
Stop smoking crack.
It's called Move.
Also, just for the record, those places you named, Grimaldi's and whatever, how are we sure this is not anti-Italian? Sounds very...
Ooh, I hadn't thought of that.
Ooh, what? Oh, is the New York mayor racist? Is he trying to go after Italians? That's what it is.
Well, I mean, look, we're all racist now, so why should Eric Adams be any different than everybody else to be a racist, right? We're all racist now. But so, anyways, folks, won't spend long on this, but I'm telling you, look it up. New York's going after the pizza parlors for clean air. I mean, it just, boggles my mind.
$20,000 or $30,000?
It's 20 to 30,000 install a unit. Then they have to have someone come in and clean it every 60 or 90 days. And so what? This guy with like 3 or 4 little pizza ovens is going to affect the quality of air in New York City. I mean, the level of stupidity of our politicians and our political leaders. I mean, look, the problem is, as Benjamin Franklin said, we tend to get the type of representative government we deserve. Mm-hmm. We must be really stupid.
Oh, yeah.
To keep electing guys like this who put into place policies like this. And by the way, all respects, he's better than, what was the knucklehead that was before him?
Oh my God. Why is my
brain
is farting.
The radical leftist,
oh my God, so
Daniel
terrible.
Ortega loving, I forget his name, but whatever. But
no, Cuomo was the governor.
No. New York City mayor.
The New York
City mayor.
De Blasio. Yes.
De Blasio. Yeah, that guy.
Oh my God. I bet you some union is involved. Somebody invented this machine.
What, the anti-pizza oven union?
I don't know. I don't know. I know you said you didn't want to spend a lot of time on this.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's keep going.
From the ridiculous to the truly outrageous.
Okay.
So Ericka, you and I go back and forth, and we get into a lot of this stuff. And you're always a good sport, and you generally let me verbally beat you up a little bit sometimes, and I appreciate that. Okay, but I'm just glad that this show is not in Michigan.
Ooh.
Michigan just passed a law that they can fine you $10,000 and they can put you in jail for up to 5 years if you say anything or do anything that hurts people's feelings. Oh. I swear that I am not making this up, folks. Right? So wait a minute.
You're
Michigan House Bill 4474 establishes that even feeling threatened is a crime that could lead up to $10,000 fine or 5 years behind bars.
But I'm not
Quote,
allowed.
Wait.
Okay.
Quote, the language is the following, that the legislation defines intimidation, feelings or intimidation as being willful course of conduct involving repeated and continuing harassment of another individual that would cause a reasonable individual to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, threatened, harassed, or molested, and that actually causes the victim to feel that way. So we're now talking about making, first of all, now I have to be responsible for your feelings. I thought that was your husband's responsibility, not mine. Secondly, so if I make you feel bad and we're in Michigan, you can send me to jail for 5 years. I'll pay the $10,000. It's worth it.
Isn't Michigan where Kyle Rittenhouse was prosecuted?
That was Wisconsin. Close.
That was Wisconsin.
That was Wisconsin.
So you can't use your Second Amendment right to protect yourself if you feel threatened, actually threatened by pedophiles or by violent criminals, and all of the demonstrations that were happening in Michigan. Oh my God. So good golly. But if I just hurt your feelings, you're going to throw me in jail. They have laws like you have duty to flee and crap like that if somebody's literally physically threatening you. But if I just verbally hurt your feelings, now I can go to jail.
So if you're breaking into my house and I defend myself, there's a better than 50-50 chance that I am going to be brought up on charges.
Correct.
But if I say something in Michigan that hurts your feelings, you can file suit. And by the way, let's be clear here. Who defines it? This is another of that Democrat progressive crap, slippery slope nonsense about how high is up, right? What's reasonable, what defines people's feelings. But it actually misses the whole point here. I grew up with, because I'm older than you, I grew up with the old saying that sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. But the core of that concept, think about this, Ericka. The core of that concept is what you say about me doesn't matter. What I think about myself matters. And clearly, we've inverted this. So now I have to be responsible for what you feel. And which is just another attempt at censorship, which is just another attempt by this wokest elite totalitarian nonsense
Is this
to try to remake America by silencing the opposition.
I'm sorry, I got so incensed so quickly that I probably missed. Is this criminal or is this civil? Is this can you bring a criminal suit
well, first of all, it's got to be criminal, right? Because it's a hate crime. It's under hate crime. And by the way, if it's civil, you generally don't go to jail unless it's fraud, right? And then fraud is criminal, right?
Right.
So this is a criminal
Oh my
code.
God.
They have passed a law on hate crime signed by Governor what's her name? Whitmer. Right? By the way, if there's anybody who looks like the evil queen in Snow White, she's got my vote.
Oh my God,
I know you're not supposed to talk about people's looks. It's shallow, it's misogynistic, and it's mansplaining or whatever it is.
No,
I'm doing, but
I'm telling you, I'm in agreement with you, Robert. I noticed that about her. I'm not even joking. First of all, her face doesn't move, so she's got to be doing like Botox or something. But like, she is always expressionless, and her face is like pale and shiny in a way that evokes the uncanny valley. And for those of you viewing,
what is the uncanny valley?
Okay, so uncanny valley is this
a valley without cans?
Correct. No, it is.
What kind of cans? I like canned food. I grew up on canned food.
Dr. Pepper. It's what happens when a human being sees another humanoid or human-like thing, but we can tell that it's not human, and it makes us uncomfortable. So
can you dumb this down to an 8th grade level so I understand what you just said, please?
When you're watching a movie, as an example, like Battle
with dead people in it, right?
No, one of a newer movie. A great example would be like.
I only watch movies with dead people in
I know, but there's a movie called Battle Angel Alita. As an example, Benjamin did stunts in this movie. And the main character, they made her eyes bigger and they adjusted her facial features, but it's a real actress, but she looks fake. It looks weird, and it makes us uncomfortable. So it's the evoking.
Well, in Michigan, that would be a hate crime.
For someone
the people who would make that movie would be a hate crime, and they could go to jail.
You go to jail. You overcook chicken, straight to jail.
Straight to jail. So, I mean, folks who are listening, you can't make this stuff up. So, but there's a serious side to all of this. Forget about that. I can't get my pizza anymore in New York City because I am going to go buy some and freeze it. But
get me some.
Yeah. By the way, when I travel, my wife doesn't care where I go. She just wants to know what food I'm bringing home. So we freeze a lot of that stuff because in New York and New Jersey, where I grew up, it's all about the food.
I got you.
And rightfully so. But there's a dark side to all of this, which is there is such a multifaceted attack on society, culture, that it takes all these different forms. And now what they're trying to do is, I always argue that we should have a debate in the public square. I don't mind a vociferous, heated, a really intense debate on what's important, what's truth, values, what's right, what's wrong. Let's have those debates. We should, right along line with the great entitlement spending about Social Security and Medicare and all the things the government is spending on when they're spending OPM, other people's money. But at its core, on a cultural level, this is just another manifestation that the woke, the other camp, shall we call it, those who are anti-American, and they'll claim that they are, but they're full of crap. They're not. They're not. They see America as a bad colonial power. Thank you, Barack Obama, right? Because he sort of, let the crazies out of the bag in terms of, people like that.
Yep.
But what they're really doing in all of this is they're trying to silence by any means possible, censor, silence any public discourse, any public conversation that goes against the narrative of this new religion. Because folks, wokeism is a new religion, right? And it's an old religion made new, and it is led by what all new religions are. They are intolerant of anyone who does not toe the party line or does not follow the pure faith. That's what this is, and you now see it at play in Michigan. What say you to all this?
Well, interestingly, I have a couple of things to say. I learned recently the First Amendment applies only to the federal government. So technically, states can apparently pass laws that infringe on speech. So I need to just for the record for the viewing
accurate.
and listening
that
audience.
That is not accurate.
My understanding, this what people are saying is somehow it's okay for states to do it as long as the federal government doesn't do it. And I'm like, ugh.
No. Let's be clear about the 10th Amendment, right? The 10th Amendment essentially says that any power not vested in the federal government by omission returns to the states. But anything that is vested in the federal government, i.e. the Bill of Rights, freedom of speech, cannot be overridden by state law. Anything where it's, let's call it policy silent, for lack of a better term,
right?
Or if the Constitution does not address it, or a federal law. So it's right.
So I wonder how they're justifying this then.
They're ignoring the laws. What are you talking about?
They just don't care. So it's basically just a way to infringe on freedom of speech.
Of course it is, because think about the system. Someone in Michigan is going to have to get convicted of this law. They're going to have to appeal the conviction. It's going to have to go through the levels of courts in Michigan, of which I am ignorant, whether there's a district court, Supreme Court, and what the Michigan levels are. Then it's got to go to the federal level, and then it's got to go to the Federal Court of Appeals, and then it has to be petitioned, right? Certiorari, you'd have to petition the Supreme Court after,
and depending on how the
and then they have to take it. That's going to take you, what, 15 years?
Oh, I wonder.
Yeah,
I'm very curious how this is going to go.
Right.
I am very curious.
So you're going to go to jail. So, by the way,
go to jail.
As we expand our empire of the people, we're not going to be in Michigan. I just can tell you, because
I know,
I ain't going to jail.
You pull a sweater, go straight to jail.
Yeah.
All right, I'm referencing it's a quote from a show. But honestly, Robert, we can't be surprised. There's a lot of people that are very different than folks like you and I. One of the things I've learned growing up is that I was learned not to be afraid of confrontation. I was raised to be comfortable in my own skin. Sticks and stones may break my bones, that whole thing. I'm not afraid of words. I'm not afraid of confrontation because I know who I am in my own skin. But apparently, the cultural shift, these folks can't hang like you and I. So,
well, I think it all started in the 60s. We took our eye off the ball, and it started with safe spaces and tenure in academia. But we'll talk about that at some other time, because Lord Benjamin, our producer, is giving us the high sign. So it is time to take a break. Folks, we're going to be talking about big education, and you're going to hate this one, but you're going to want to know. Stay tuned. Ericka and I will be right back. We are of the people. You can find us on Rumble. You can find me on Twitter at RB Chernin, and
I am at Ericka Redic.
Look us up. You'll be entertained.
That we guarantee.
Absolutely. She's never wrong.
Ever. Just ask my husband.